have I been reading recently? Stay tuned and find out. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today we are going to be doing a recent reads. August is now over. We're in September. It is Monday. By the time you guys are seeing this, it'll be Monday. We were recording this the day before. Another announcement we have, or an announcement I have before we get into my recent reads, is the Books and Stuff podcast is being relaunched.
Today you're watching this.
We're calling it Season 3. It's coming out today. If it's not, it should already be out. We'll have it linked down below. Check it out. Basically just another introduction back into the podcast world from Danielle and I. Danielle, I was about to say Danielle and Zach. That's me. And pretty much, we're launching it again. We're going to have guests. We're going to have all sorts of things going on with it again. We're going to stick with it. And it's going to be a fun ride. So that should be out. Go check out that podcast episode. And the one next week might be about Fairy Tale, because that's going to be coming out tomorrow and I'm going to be getting it Wednesday. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into my books. Alright, the first one up is Take Your Turn, Teddy by Haley Newland. This book was actually sent to me, I believe, by the author, if I'm not mistaken. And thank you for sending me this, Haley. The book I'm going to give, I want to sit at about 4 stars. I enjoyed the premise. Pretty much what happens is this kid is all excited that he got this, I think it was a baseball card. I think it was Hank Aaron. He got this Hank Aaron baseball card and comes home and his dad's sleeping with another woman. He's got no idea what's going on. He's confused. He basically is told by his dad, don't say anything to mom. He slips it out on accident. They leave each other. The mom takes Teddy to, I think it was an aunt's cabin. It was a cabin somewhere else, but it was a relative's. And pretty much a lot of bad crap starts happening to Teddy. He starts hearing voices. There's this like yellow-eyed creature, like shadow thing in the basement that he goes and talks to. It's a very interesting premise, and I really enjoyed the first part of the book. The second part is where it kind of fell off a little bit, because you get up to part 2 and you stop following Teddy for a bit and you start following like this whole other groupage of people who are the ones like following after the incidents that are happening with Teddy. And it just kind of got a little dull with the adults. I like the perspective of Teddy. I liked it from like his point of view. The ending I thought was really cool. It had a really nice twist to it. I just thought like the adult version was just the adult part was, it didn't hit on all cylinders for me. But otherwise, it was a really solid book, and I did really enjoy it, and I'm going to settle on 4 stars for it. So, yeah, very good book. Thank you for sending it to me. There you have Take Your Turn, Teddy by Haley Newland. All right. I am nervous for this next book because I really don't want to get the author's name wrong. Next up is The Chain by Adrian McKinty. This was our buddy read for August. Danielle read it freehand and I did the audiobook, so I finished it before she did, and I'm going to settle on 4 stars with this too, just like Take Your Turn, Teddy. The first part of this book, so the premise of this is it starts off like hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza. Basically what happens is a little girl gets abducted and immediately like just shit starts hitting the fan. And pretty much how it goes down is there's this thing called the chain. You kidnap a little kid, which later in the book, I don't know if it's kids or not that actually get abducted. I think it might just be people.
I think it's kids.
Okay. Anyway, basically what happens is you kidnap a kid. That family has to abide by the rules of the chain. They have to like give money to this random thing. And then they have to kidnap another kid and then tell that family they got to kidnap a kid. And then once that family kidnaps a kid, the previous family who kidnapped your kid gives you back your kid, but then you can't give up that kid that you took until the family that they kidnapped takes a kid. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds easier than the way how I just described it, but that's... Yeah. But yeah, no, basically, if you want... Yeah, I'm not even going to try to describe it again, because I just confused the hell out of myself. But yeah, no, basically we're following a woman who gets caught in the chain. First part of the book, phenomenal. Like, it works for me. You know, she does all this stuff. Everything's, like, peachy keen. I mean, obviously it's not peachy keen, but then, like, part 2 is, like... And there's still, like, 100-something pages left of the book, and, like... Her part of the chain is, like, done. But basically, like, the whole last, like, 100-so pages is, like, her part of the chain is done. And Danielle and I both even said, like, we felt like the book could have ended there, and it would have been a fine book. Like, for me, that would have been 5 stars. But, unfortunately, it did not end there, and it continued. I did not really hate the true ending. I just... The whole subplot of this random guy who wants to try and overthrow the chain with the 2 people who were, like, ran into it. What were the names of the people? There's Rachel, and what was the guy's name? He was like a drug addict. I can't think of his name. But it's basically her ex-husband's older brother is trying to help out with this because it's like her niece or whatever.
Oh, Pete?
Pete, yeah. It's whatever. But yeah, no, overall, I'm going to say this is 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I just wish it ended when it was made more sense to end. But
this was also featured in a vlog of mine, a 24-hour reading vlog where our, like, immediate reactions were vlogged.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, I don't know. That's now that I've been seasoned with it a little bit, that's kind of my thought is why part 2 is really as necessary as it was. But it is what it is. I did enjoy the book, though. I do want to read another book by this author. So, but yeah, there you have The Chain by Adrian McKinney. Did I really just do it again? McKinney. No. Okay. Alright, so yeah, there you have The Chain by Adrian McKinney. Alright, we're on to book 3. And that is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is book 1 in the... I don't know what the series is called. The Hitchhiker's Guide series, I think. I've got 2 big books. Two big books with... I think there's 6 books in all of them. I do not remember the titles of the other one. I think the second one is like The Restaurant Across the Galaxy. Or on the other side of the galaxy or something like that. Whatever. I am planning to read book 2. This book was really good. I'm going to settle on 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. This is a movie I watched when I was a wee tot. I don't remember how long ago. But it was a really solid movie and I really enjoyed it. This also reminded me of probably one of my... Or didn't remind me. I guess it reminded me. It reminded me of a favorite movie character that I had forgotten. The depressed robot. Marvin the Robot. He's also voiced by Alan Rickman, too. I didn't even know that in the movie. But yeah, no, the dude is hilarious. He's basically this robot that's purely depressed. He just, like, hates life and everything, and, like... He's just such a funny character. So I honestly can't wait to read the rest of this series, because I, like, absolutely love Marvin. He's just so funny. But yeah, basically the Earth is getting demolished for a superhighway for, like, aliens, and it gets destroyed. One person gets brought aboard a ship. His name is Arthur, and we're basically following his story in this whole entire thing. There's a lot of... Jeez, what is it? There's Zaphod, Beeblebrox. We're following with him. There's a whole book. There's Trillian. There's a whole lot of like weird named characters. Again, it's like a sci-fi book, so then every name's gonna be like Mark or Andrew. Yeah, it was a very solid book. I really liked it, and I really want to read the rest of them. But you're basically just following the quirky adventures of this dude and like what he's doing out in space. And I cannot wait to get to the rest of them. So there you have The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Alright, the last book I'm going to talk about is The Dark Tower 2, The Drawing of the Three. I'm going to try and keep this brief because I feel like I've talked about the last three for a long time. You guys know me. This is my favorite Dark Tower book in the series. I reread this because I'm rereading the series. However, because of Zocktober, I'm kind of putting a pause on all of that fun stuff for a fat minute. But this book is good. It's so good. You get introduced to most of Roland's quartet. Eddie, probably one of my favorite characters in like Stephen King books in general, is brought into the series. Susanna, which is Odetta Wilson, or not Wilson, Odetta. I can't think of her last name, but she like changes names. It's a very, very weird book. It's very elaborate and it's very like odd. But I absolutely love it. This book is so good. Next one up for me with this series is The Wastelands. That is probably my second favorite book in the series. I know with Zocktober going on, it's going to get pushed back a month. I'm not going to be reading it in September, which was the plan. I was going to read that and Wizard and Glass this month, but then we decided to do Zocktober. And then Fairy Tale is coming out, and Fairy Tale is supposedly about the same size as Wastelands, and so doing those three books and my rereads for October, it would have been a very Stephen King-filled month, and so we are just not going to do... We're going to follow back up in the Dark Tower series for the end of October, I think is what we're going to aim for starting Wastelands. So, I know my September we're in September. God, I keep forgetting what date it is. For my September TBR, I did put Wastelands, but that is not going to be true because of Zocktober. So, this book was really good. 5 stars. Still my top Dark Tower book as of right now. So I still got to read the other ones. But yes, very good book. Absolutely love it. Drawing of the Three, The Dark Tower Book 2. Alright guys, those are the 4 books I've read most recently. By the time we are filming this, I do have another book in like 7/8 completed, which will be in a different recent reads, obviously. If you guys have read these 4 books, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, especially The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because I'm very intrigued to get to the rest of that series. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, let me know what you've read recently, and again, I guess I'll ask in this video as well, if you've got any Zocktober idea videos that you want to pitch to us, write them down in the comments. Anything you want to see, write it down, and we'll contemplate it. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, don't forget the podcast is out too. Duh. Check out that. That was released today, and we are going to keep up with it every Monday. Leave a review on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.